Hello everyone, how you guys doing? Deck here. Right now, I didn't want to have to do this review video, but I have to. It turns out that I wasted a lot of time. Yes, a little over basically 2 hours, nearly 3 hours of watching Zack Snyder's Rebel Moon Part One. Yeah, so as I was watching this film, it kept on dragging on, and I thought that so many characters were in it, and I could even let it keep track of each single character. I can't even fathom enough to explain like what their build is and what they do. We barely even got to see any of them in action because it was just long, lot of commentary and stuff, and barely. How can I say this? Anything like that'll strike you out ordinary that's like boosh entertaining pops in your face. So it does have an Easter egg with Star Wars. This felt like a rated R Star Wars film to me. So they call it the Mother World. That's where they call it, and they did mention the Imperial. Imperial is basically when I first heard the word Imperial, that was after Obi-Wan Kenobi, and then that's when I heard Mandalorian, the Book of Boba Fett, and also Ahsoka. That's where I heard the word Imperial. So this is an Elseworld. If it's a so-called Star Wars movie, that's what I believe it is. I can't believe he already has a second one already done filmed, and it's coming out like next year. It's like mind-blowing and crazy. So let me give you the rundown. So basically, Korra is a farmer, and she's on a world that's is full of farmers, basically. And then I guess you could say a mothership arrives. Now, this mothership is unstoppable, meaning it cannot be destroyed. There's an admiral that comes aboard, Admiral Atticus. Now, this admiral is a real evil SOB, I could say that, because he killed their leader, like, without remorse, without mercy, without regret. So, basically, they said that we want some of your crops, like, feed us and stuff, because we're going to be stationed here, because they're looking for two criminals on this home planet, this world. They're like brother and sister, I suppose. So they're looking for them, and they said that okay, so we'll be back in like 9 weeks, cause so you guys could like fertilize and farm and feed us. Well, we're going to be inside our, uh, I guess you could say mothercraft. Anyways, other than that, Cora was about to leave. Now I can't really explain this situation, because well, let's just say that it's a little difficult trying to explain this situation because let's just say that Korra, she was about to leave. She couldn't take anymore because basically the whole village was going to bow down to the soldiers, including to the admiral. And so she was about to leave on her Rancor, her little horse, but then she heard a girl screaming, and some soldiers brought her into a barn. And basically, those soldiers, well, let's just say that, uh, yeah, they're planning on hurting the girl. That's all I'm going to say. So, Korra stepped in, but there's one soldier that was actually young, and he didn't want to take part of it, so he kind of helped Korra a little bit, fight them off. Now, that's where it, like, really bugs me and stuff. I'm thinking Zack Snyder went with the case of John Wick's kind of fighting, because he had nothing but grappling and gun jutsu in it. If you guys don't know, gun jutsu is John Wick. John Wick created basically gun jutsu. Uh, I think that he could have hired a better fight choreographer. I thought the fight choreography was ridiculous and tedious and just annoying. I don't know. It was like every snip piece of it, of the fighting scene, just didn't hit. It wasn't spot on. As a critic, a martial artist myself, I was like, and these look like more like little self-defense moves, not like very cinematic action ones. I can tell you that. And I'm thinking to myself, Won't you just hire Christopher Nolan to like be executive producer and hire the fight choreography for the fight scenes? I think that'll be a little bit more better and stuff, or at least I don't know. No shaky cams, but Christopher Nolan's like the way how he directed his fight scenes, maybe a little bit like that in order, but still. Then again, it's Zack Snyder's baby. This is what he dreamed of ever since he was 11 years old. I guess this is what he visioned in mind for. And the one thing that I didn't really get is that when she was going around plan to plan to recruiting like soldiers, new people, there's this one part of it where they got betrayed by one of their own, which was a thief. They all got tied up. They're on a planet. Somehow they got loose. They killed everyone there, including the thief. And then they had a big fight with the admiral. She killed the admiral. He fell off like 6 stories off of a platform. He died. I was like, he was the main villain basically of the whole film. It's kind of like Phantom of the Menace. Like, what if they never killed Darth Maul? What if they killed Palpatine, the man behind the scenes? What if they did that? Surely enough, they sent out a scouter pod, took his body. He's half robot and half human. So they did this little matrix thing where they put some wires, they cut the back of his head like the skin, like he's a bloody T-800 like Terminator, and they put like a circular tube just connected inside the back of his head, and he gets like sucked literally into the matrix, and he talks to her father, the father of Korra. So Korra, she's actually adopted because she did give her backstory. She used to work for, I guess, the Imperial, basically, those soldiers. When she was a kid, the general, he came to our planet. He killed everyone. He loved destruction. He loved killing everyone and people. And he saw her killed her whole family when she was only like 6 years old, and then took her in as one of his own. So he raised her like a daughter when she was growing up. So she was basically trained in their ways, how to fight, how they kill. So that's why she wanted to leave in the first place. She didn't want to get hassled into any of that uh, drama right there. And they could have recognized her as well because that's the general's daughter. Yeah. So, anyways, she left the military for sentimental reasons and decided to start, I guess, kind of like have a little family and friends. So when the admiral was inside the Matrix, I'm going to call it literally the Matrix because that's where those little robots put him into. So when he's in the Matrix, he's talking to Korra's adopted father, the general and stuff. I don't know if he's dead or alive or not, but he said that you're going back. You're going to capture my daughter. I'm glad she has friends. The reason why I'm glad she has new friends is because I'm going to kill her friends. And I'm going to kill my own daughter in front of the Senate. That's how ruthless and cold and SOB that guy is. Yeah, he's Father of the Year, alright. It's crazy. But other than that, yes, I would give this movie a 5 out of 10. And the Admiral did come back alive. That's yes. I'm going to definitely give this a 5 out of 10 because this film was way too long. It was boring, and I was also paying attention mostly to my phone because that's how boring it actually was. A Zack Snyder film. Like, seriously. How can you get bored of a Zack Snyder film? I don't know. He has a part 2 coming out. Am I excited or up for it to see part 2? I don't think I am. Like, this movie actually kind of made a bad rep on his reputation because he was one of the best directors so far out there. But until this movie plumage, plumage, it like basically, it really did suck. I could say that. All I gotta say is that maybe you should hire a better fight choreographer and make it a little more cinematic, because the most cinematic movie I've seen lately so far, uh, was Matt Reeves, the Batman. Maybe that's because they shot it in different locations. Here, it felt like they were shooting it like it didn't feel like a Star Wars movie. They kept on like just transporting, traveling a planet to planet. It kind of looked like real dull. It looked like I was watching a Star Trek movie, basically. Like they're just visiting different planets. It felt like that. They, the only planet like basically they ever would stay on was their homeworld planet and stuff. They didn't spend too much time on any of the other planets though, because that's all they were doing, hopping around solar system, picking up someone, recruiting a lot of men, trying to fight this army. I thought this should have been a one and done movie right there. I thought that Admiral should have died and just scrapped this up. But no, he already had a part two. You know what I'm thinking? Zack Snyder already had a part two. Why didn't he have a part two for the Justice League? That's all I'm trying to say right there. Like, you have Rebel New Moon. You have you have Rebel Moon, and you have Rebel Moon, like the director's cuts. And you already have part two coming out 2024. Why didn't you make the Justice League part two? I was just wondering about that. Like, seriously. At least bring us to like the Batman versus Deathstroke movie, but obviously the Snyderverse will be sold to Netflix. Hopefully Netflix could sort that out. Other than that, yeah, this movie gets 5 out of 10. I don't know any other people who enjoyed it. If you enjoyed it, well, I'm glad you enjoyed it. Good luck to you. Would I recommend this film if you're bored, you want to watch something sci-fi and action? Check this out. Or if you look for a family movie, you could also check this one out, I suppose. But now I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys are new, subscribe to the channel as always. Yes, of course, I'll see you all in the next one.